Alright, let's see how this is going. Alright, everything look good. Everything look good. Yada yada. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bang. Alright, so check this out. This is a steel path build for Yareli. Okay. And what I'm about to show you, as you can currently see in the top right corner, my Yareli is rank 0. I'm going to tell you the ins and outs of Yareli because there are things in the tips that they don't even tell us. Alright. So, wait till this little buff ends. Matter of fact, screw the buff. The moment you cast Yareli, she's kind of not Yareli. The moment you cast Miralina, she's like Rhino or Neza when you cast their like Neza's ring ability to give him damage reduction, Rhino's ability to give him his armor. Miralina has a similar thing. So once you cast Miralina, you'll see in the top right corner you get a buff. And that buff lasts for as long as you're invincible. You're invincible for 4 seconds. During that moment of invincibility, you want to get damage. Because in doing so, the damage that is done to you gets translated to Miralina. And it increases her health. So as you can currently see, I have 8,700 health. But let's go get damage real quick. We are going to unpause AI. We're going to run up to AI. Boom. 28,000 health. So as you can see, Miralina now has, they did about like 18k damage to me or something like that, whatever. Miralina now has 26,000 health. All right. So the moment you cast Miralina, you want to be in a group of enemies. At this point in time, the chances of you dying are pretty slim with Miralina out and about. Next, after you do that, believe me, this ability here, Aqua Blades, is still very much handy. Especially if enemies around your armor strip. Applying slash effects, these, as you can see, these guys are level 150. You'll do damage over the course of time. But now that we got that out of the way, because they won't tell you that in the tips, especially that Miralina thing, they won't tell you that in the tips. Next, right now the build is incomplete because I was dabbling with it. I put an aura former on this bad boy, but you don't necessarily need steel charge in there. I'm just doing that for capacity right now, just to show you guys this build. You want adaptation on. But unfortunately, adaptation does not work on Miralina. Even with this mod on, it does not work for Miralina. This only works for Yareli. I still recommend a few armor mods here or there. It depends on your forte. Prime Flow, must have. I highly recommend it. Continuity, you really want it. All right? Yareli is all about crowd control. All about crowd control. Prime Sure-Footed, don't know why the hell I have this on there. Jokes and giggles. I was dabbling with something currently. But the primary focus I really want you to focus on is your arcanes. They should, both of the arcane slots should be for your secondary weapon. The secondary weapon and your really go hand in hand. It's very important. I highly recommend a crit-based weapon. It will do you justice. I'm pretty sure I meant to put on Primed Vigor, not Prime Sure-Footed. Next. This is what truly matters. Here's my build currently for the Piranha Prime. I will adjust it later in time because it is a crit build. I shouldn't have 60/60 mods on. But as you can see, I am doing corrosive damage. So you want heated charge. No, excuse me, not heated charge. Pathogen rounds and convulsion. Those are the two mods you want where I have Jolt and Pistol Pestilence. Obviously, I have a ribbon on there. You might not have that, but here's a good build for the Piranha Prime crit base. And if you have an armor stripper frame, obviously go for viral. But that's not the case here. I will show you guys this build, 60-60 build with Yareli here in a second. So you see how this is done. We're going to go back here. I'm going to show you a gimmick because it's not in the tips about sea snares. This is a very important one. It will tell you that you can only put out so many of these water globbles. Let's just call them bubbles until the next one disappears. That's what it is saying in the tips. You only can have 15 sea snare bubbles active at a time. Casting more than 15 causes the earliest bubbles to pop. That is a lie to an extent. I will show you that right here, right now. We're going to go ahead and kill these enemies. As you can see, there are going to be 20 enemies on the stage. All right. She can only have 15 bubbles out at a time. That's what the tip says, but that is not the case. If the bubbles aren't touching anyone, let's say you have this. Your next cast, yes, will make the bubbles disappear. Bubbles pop, as you can see. But if these bubbles are touching someone, you can damn near cast as many as you like, as long as these bubbles are touching somebody. We are going to put this whole stage in a bubble. As you can see, nobody's feet touch the ground. And you see me literally spam this ability. So take that into consideration. That is another aspect in the tips that they do not tell you. Another trick about Yareli. That's 2 hidden tips. The next thing. Let's go back to our build. Again, this build is incomplete. I wish I had a max rank, but I really wanted to shoot this video out to you guys soon. I have transient fortitude on. You want some ability strength. This is incomplete, but 100% to 155% duration is where you want to be with Yareli. You find out your playstyle with that. I'm just giving you a rough estimate of where you want to be with her. I use transient fortitude to get more damage vulnerability to 145% instead of just 200%. Kill them faster. All right, we already got maximum efficiency on, so I mean, I'm pretty sure energy orb will drop for us eventually. Marilina's health, instead of 7,500, you get 8,700. That's really not important because I showed you the gimmick of how to give her more health. If you're going to recast Marilina, you might as well get in front of a bunch of enemies and let them damage you while you're invulnerable. Heal rate is now 29% instead of 20%, and your buff duration is 26.5%. Why the hell would you need any more than that? You should be killing. Aqua Blade's duration 46 seconds. That's a pretty good amount of time. Again, you're not going to be casting this ability often. So 75 energy, you really shouldn't even be worrying about energy efficiency. You're not going to be casting this ability or spamming it like that because you have duration. Damage increase is 10%. This is a pretty handy ability. If they are armor stripped, guys, I'm telling you right now, Surging Blades is pretty damn handy. And Riptide. Riptide is one of your most important abilities. Why? Because instead of looking all over for your enemies, they are literally put in the unicenter of the circle. So you can literally just rotate around them on your little Marilina, your little hoverboard, and constantly just well on them. I'm about to show you that here in a second. Damage increase per enemy. That's the important thing right there. Unfortunately, strength mods do not affect that. I mean, this ability is really broken. 50% damage increase per enemy within Riptide. Let that sink in. You got 8 seconds on it with this build. You can go on for longer if you add another little duration mod, but with this build, and then they burst out. Each enemy trapped in a vertex increases the burst damage. If they're armor strip within there or whatever you want to put on viral / what have you, this is pretty broken. And with an incomplete build, guys, I'm about to show you that. There they are up there on the stand. Before you get to blasting all your enemies, I recommend Sea Snare. Increased damage vulnerability. Do I have the weapon out? I chose Piranha Prime for a particular reason. And this is an incomplete build. Sea Snares is already up too. That's not even the right build. That's just a rough estimate of what could be. I have many other weapons that would literally just... Oh wow, there's still a guy left out there. I feel a little sad about that. But whatever. With that being said, there's literally many other weapons you can use. The one out, the compressor, obviously a good weapon. Twin stubbers, Kuba base, obviously a great choice of weapons. Really need to start building up on my secondaries. The moment I actually mod this weapon right, instead of using the 60/60 mods, we'll see a lot more damage from it. I have a mad amount of punch through on it right now, 3.8. And that is a build for Yareli Steel Path. And before we end this video, I will tell you the exact mods that I will put on. Obviously, I'm only using Steel Charge for mod capacity. But this mod, your aura mod, is more than likely Matter Eye. So the mod that I would recommend for you. Move, move, move. Move, move, move. No, not so much. Nope. Melee guidance. You're not really going to be doing melee, a bunch of melee as Yareli. You're going to be on your board the entire time. So Steel Charge is probably the best mod for your aura mod slot in all reality. I recommend Primed Vigor. A lot of people don't use it. It's up to you what your health base mod is going to be, but more than likely adaptation is going to be where Primed Vigor is. You can put on Vitality, it does not matter. You're going to be on Miralina, irregardless. Prime Continuity, this is a must-have mod. Miralina Guardian. If you want to play Yareli, get this mod. You want to abuse this. It's not necessarily about healing Miralina. You really don't care about Miralina. It's about what you get upon healing Miralina. That's what really matters. Gain 200% reload speed and fire rate on secondary weapons for 20 seconds. That is very much broken. Prime Flow, Adaptation, Surgeon Blades, yada yada. And if I have more mod slots, it's all up to you. In my personal opinion, I put a bunch of defensive mod slots on because there's nothing else that you can really do with Yareli. There's no other augment for you to put on. I mean, yeah, you could put on Preparation, but it's only for the beginning of the match. Really does not matter. You could put on Stretch, but you can get more range, what have you, but to what extent? This thing already has a radius of 15 meters, which is a good amount of range. It's all up to you. Reach, casting and ability, auger mods, all up to you. Your Exilus mod slot, again, there's not really much you can do. Peculiar Bloom, just for shits and giggles. You're not going to be on your foot. You're not going to be looking at... There's really no... In all reality, there's really no Exilus mod slot for this lady. Probably the best one. None of these are going to do you any justice because you're going to be on Miralina. This is why there's no Exilus mod really for for Yareli. The other thing, we're going to test this out right now live. There it is. Let's take that off for a second. Reduce damage by 40% when airborne. This is something that I've always wondered. They're very specific with their word choice. And I always wonder if this meant airborne. Still nonetheless. Ladies and gentlemen, it just might. I really want to get a good look at that. Then we'll put her into action nonetheless. There is a significant difference. There may be a mod for her. This is the mod for her, Exilus. In my personal opinion. The best one. Gotta unpause these bad boys. Where are you? Good grief. There you are. Huge difference. Bada bing, bada boom, the bang.